Apple's first Mac was a failure. Here is why. The Macintosh or Mac is a series of several lines of personal computers manufactured by Apple Incorporated. The first Macintosh was introduced on January 24, 1984, by Steve Jobs, and it was the first commercially successful personal computer to feature two unpopular features then, the mouse and the graphical user interface. However, the first Apple Mac was a failure, and here is why. Before we continue, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button below to get a notification on our next video. Production of the Mac is based on a vertical integration model, as Apple facilitates all aspects of its hardware and creates its operating system called system software. It was later renamed to Mac OS that is pre-installed on all Mac computers. The Macintosh project started in the late 1970s with JefRaskin, an Apple employee, who proposed an easy-to-use, low-cost computer for the average consumer. He wanted to name the computer after his favorite type of Apple, the Macintosh, but the name had to be changed for legal reasons. In September 1979, Raskin was authorized by the management to start hiring for the project, and he began to look for an engineer who could put together a prototype. Over the years, Raskin assembled a large development team that designed and built the original Macintosh hardware and software. Besides Raskin, Atkinson and Smith, the team included Chris Espinoza, Joanna Hoffman, George Crow, Bruce Horn, Jerry Manick, Susan Kerr, Andy Hertzfeld, and Daniel Kotke. The final Mac design was self-contained and had the complete QuickDraw picture language and interpreter in 64 kilobits of ROM and 128 kilobytes of RAM. Though there were no memory slots, its RAM was expandable to 512 kilobytes using soldering 16 chip sockets to accept 256 kilobits RAM chips. The final product screen was a 9-inch, 512 by a 342 pixel monochrome display, exceeding the prototypes. The design caught the attention of Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple. Realizing that the Macintosh was more marketable than the Lisa, he began to focus his attention on the project. Raskin finally left the Macintosh project in 1981 over a personality conflict with Jobs, and the final Macintosh design is said to be closer to Jobs' ideas than Raskin's. The Macintosh 128KB was announced to the press in October 1983 and was introduced in January 1984. Apple sold over 70,000 machines by April of that year. However, after that, sales started diminishing quite abruptly. By December, there were only less than 10,000 sold. It was believed that this happened because the initial sales went to early adopters, and even though the Macintosh caught the public's attention and demonstrated the future, you couldn't do a whole lot with it. First of all, its 128 kilobits of memory just wasn't enough. The Mac that Steve Jobs had demonstrated actually had 512K, and then there wasn't a lot of software available for it. Also, at $2,495 with only one built-in disk drive, it was an expensive and difficult system to use. Even saving a file from two basic applications like MacWrite and MacPaint could require several disk swaps. Many in the press termed it a very stimulating, impressive, cool but expensive toy. In September of 1984, Apple introduced the Fat Mac with 512K, which helped to increase sales, but the Macintosh was clearly failing. In 1985, the combination of the Mac, Apple's laser writer printer, and Mac-specific software like Boston Software's Mac Publisher and Aldus PageMaker enabled users to design, preview, and print page layouts complete with text and graphics. This activity became what is now known as desktop publishing. By late 1985, Steve Jobs had left the company. Whilst trying to improve connectivity, Apple released the Macintosh Plus on January 10, 1986, for $2,600. It offered 1 megabyte of RAM, expandable to 4, and a then revolutionary SCSI parallel interface. This allowed up to 7 peripherals, such as hard drives and scanners, to be attached to the machine. And its floppy drive was increased to an 800 kilobytes capacity. The Mac Plus was an immediate success and remained in production, unchanged until October 15, 1990. It was on sale for just over 4 years and 10 months, and was the longest-lived Macintosh in Apple's history. Steve Jobs eventually returned to the company in 1996, saving it from its insipid desktop offerings and stale operating system. He also went on to upgrade the operating system that he brought back with him from Next, and it became Mac OS X. What do you think about Apple's first Mac and why it was a failure? Do you think they have come a long way since then? Thanks for watching this video. Please share your opinions in the comments section below, and remember to click the subscribe button to be the first person to watch new videos on this channel.